Okay, here we go again, guys. Sorry for the delay. All right. Some technical difficulties here, but let's fix this real quick. Okay, girls. I'm ready now. Sorry again. Again, you will see initially it works out fairly easy. And then at the end, it's just picking up and getting a little bit harder. So please, everybody look up. Make sure you're good. First and foremost, what do you think the square root of 5 times the square root of 7 is? Yes, good job. Radical 35. That's all there is to it. All right, nothing to it at all. All right. So number 3 would be what? Radical 55. Yes, it gets harder, okay, but this is just the basics. So then when we look at number 5, we just say that's radical 30m. Then number 7, we just say that's radical 30x. And then we have radical 42. Anybody lost or having trouble? All right, yeah, it's this easy. All right, now we start something new. All right, so again, several options here. All right, I would want you to do this, please. Now, again, you got to hear me from the very beginning. All right. The short way out is just to go ahead and say, well, I know 3 times 12 is 36. So the square root of 36 then is just what? Is just 6, okay? Sometimes that's the best way. Sometimes that's not the best way. All right. What I would like everybody in here to listen to me now, please listen. I'm trying to train your brain how to handle radicals. All right. That's the easy way out. The best way is to observe that there is a common 3 here. 12 is also what? 3 times 4. Come on now. Everybody's listening. Come on, you can't daydream now. It's not the time. Try to wake up. Then I need you to be able to tell me that the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. If you need to make yourself a note, square root of 3 times square root of 3. Anytime you multiply the same number under the radical, it is that number. So again, I just said, what's radical 3 times radical 3? 3. What's the square root of 4? 3 times 2? 6. Trust me, that's a much better way of doing the problem. Much better way. All right. Yes, it works out. Either way, same answer. What? I'm not there. Anybody have any questions with number 11? All right, come on now. Now we're on number 13, Gray. Yes, anytime you're multiplying the same radical together, all right, it just works out to be 10. Now, let's say you forgot that. You would just simply say 10 times 10 is 100. And what's the square root of 100? 10. So anytime you multiply the same radical together, it is whatever's underneath the radical. That is the answer. All right. Now, those of you guys who've been paying attention, I know what 6 times 18 is. I know that's 108. But if you multiply it, it makes it a more difficult problem. I would like everybody to look at 18 and say, is there something common with 18 and 6? And the answer is yes. What is common? 6. So I'd like everybody under 18 to write 6 times 3, please. Then what do we have? We have a 6 and a 6. So that comes out as a what? 6. 3 is sad and lonely because he has no friend. He must stay home. So that's 6 radical 3. Now I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's what you're wanting to look for. You're looking for groups of 2. You're looking for groups of 2. All right, what?
It was a 24, and it would be 4, and then you would do 6.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You say the 18 with a 24, then you could pull a 6 and a 4 out.
Yes.
Then you would do 6 times.
Yeah. We're getting to that. We're getting to that. I appreciate you, Austin. I promise you, that's why there's how many questions? A lot. You're going to get lots of practice. All right. That's why I want you to stay with me. All right. That's why I keep trying to tell some of you who are daydreamers. You're killing yourself. Stop daydreaming. Here we go. Now, 417. Is there a common 2? Yes. Is there a common x? So what comes outside the square root? 2x. What is left behind? A 3. Not a 3x, a 3. Now, again, for those of you guys, I prefer almost if you rewrite that as 2x times 3. Then you can say, okay, 2 is common and x is common. 3 was left over. Is everybody happy with that? Come on now.
So
whatever's common comes outside. That's right. Because you're looking for groups of 2. Now, is there anything common here? No. So the answer is just what? Someone take a stab at it. 2 radical 21. That's the answer. 2 radical 21. So if I'm looking at 21, that's just what? 15 radical 21. It's kind of logical. You multiply the numbers in front and you multiply under the radical. All right. These numbers, the 3 and the 5, are called the rational numbers. The 3 and the 7 are called the irrational numbers. All right. So multiply the 3 and the 5, multiply the 3 and the 7. All right, here we go. Now, here's where it can be more difficult if you're not paying attention. What's 3 times 2? 6. Now, please don't tell me 5 times 10 is 50. I know that. I'm trying to get you to think about numbers differently. What is common with 5 and 10?
5.
A 5. So I pull out the 5, so it's going to be times 5. What's left behind? 2. And then, of course, 6 times 5, 30 radical 2. 30 radical 2. Now, as you go down the page, you should be able to see, yeah, it's getting harder. So if I don't know the easy ones, there's no chance I'm getting to the hard ones. But if you know what we're doing right now, then the harder problems are easy. Anybody have any questions? All right, here we go. Now we're just distributing a radical 5. What's radical 5 times radical 2? Beautiful. What is radical 5 times radical 5? I ask a specific question. What is radical 5 times radical 5? 5. It's just 5. Whatever the number is. So it would be plus 5. Now, some of you are like, yeah, 5 times 5 is 25. That is correct. Radical 5 times radical 5 is radical 25. And then what's the square root of 25? You're back to 5. So it's helpful if anytime you see the same number, radical 5 times radical 5, is stop saying radical 25. Just tell me the answer is what? 5. All right, moving forward. Come on now. Concentrate. First, square root of 3 times this becomes somebody. No. 2 radical 15. Beautiful. You multiply radicals together and you multiply numbers together. You're not allowed to multiply a number and a radical together. All right, hopefully you understand me. Now, minus What is square root of 3 times square root of 3? No. What is square root of 3 times square root of 3? 3. Everybody's telling me it's 3. Then there's another 3 here, so that makes it a 9. All right, one more time. We're going back on this one. We're going to say it together. Square root of 3 times 2 radical 5 is 2 radical 15. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. No, not even close. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is what? 3 times 3. There you have it. All right, that's what I'm saying. Answer my questions. All right, that's how I want you to think about these problems. Everybody can do that. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. 3. Beautiful. Now, does everybody agree this is 2 binomials? Yes. So we need the smiley face. So here we go. How much is this?
It's 5 radical 3.
5 radical 3. Thank you for listening. Now the other smiley face.
3 radical 3.
Wow. But it would be nice if you said it was positive 3 radical 3. And then I'm doing this. What's that?
15.
Plus 15. Come on now, believe it or not, I'm not kidding you. This is really hard. Personally, I don't see why people think it's really hard, but people find this really difficult. Anybody have a problem with what we just did there? All right, now, what did I tell you will always happen here? Combined terms. Wow.
So 8 radical 3.
So now, what is this plus this? 18. And what's the red highlight?
8 radical 3.
Yes, plus 8 radical 3. Now, as I said, a lot. If you don't want to learn something, I can't help you. All right, if you would just pay attention, write the problems down, try the problems before I tell you the answer, you're much smarter. All right, but some of you aren't doing that. What? No. All right, anybody have any questions with 29? All right, here we go again. We have another binomial times a binomial. So everyone's with me. Square root of 5 times square root of 5. 5. Come on. Now I'm going for the smiley face. What's this?
1.
Negative radical 5. Come on, join the choir. Negative radical 5. Don't just write it down. Now I've got the other smiley face.
Positive 3 radical 5.
Plus 3 radical 5. A common mistake is to multiply a number by a radical. You're not allowed to do that. You only multiply numbers, you only multiply radicals. Never a number and a radical.
And then -3.
Thank you, Gray. Final step. -1 times positive 3, which in fact is -3. Beautiful. Now, do you know the work from yesterday? 5 minus 3, 2, -1 radical 5 plus 3 radical 5 plus 2 radical 5. All right, now again, I just don't think it's that difficult. All right, let's try 33. What? Good for you.
Okay, why would it be 2? Because isn't there a 1? So when you add them,
What are you adding? Tell me.
3 and 1.
I'm adding the yellow. That yellow right here is a result of the other 2 yellows.
No, for the other one.
This right here, again, I appreciate you. This right here is a result of this right here.
But how did you get the 2?
Well, what is this number right here, kiddo? -1, right?
Oh, I thought.
No,
Okay.
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, now you know. That's it. That's what everyone's supposed to do. All right, if you want to learn, all you got to do is ask and someone will help you. I can't help you if you just sit there and not try. I don't understand it. I do not understand. Here we go. 33. Practice together. Here we go. Square root of 5 times square root of 5. 5. Smiley face number 1.
Minus 2 radical 5.
-2 radical 5. The other smiley face.
Positive 2.
+2 radical 5. And
then
then
minus 4.
-4. Don't get ahead of me. Don't think you're faster. Just do the process.
No, I'm saying like.
I wasn't talking to you. Do the process. Now, here we go. 5 minus 4, 1, and beautiful. The middle terms do what? The middle terms cancel. So your final answer after all this work is a measly what? 1. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. All right, let's see if I'm teaching you something. Come on now. Square root of 10 times square root of 10. First smiley face.
Plus
5 radical 5.
Plus what?
plus 5 radical
5 radical 10. Second smiley face.
minus 5 radical 10.
-5 radical 10. Final
Minus 25.
-25. After all that, a lousy -15. Because what happened to the middle terms? They cancel out. All right, I'm pretty happy with you guys. All right, they're trying to get a little bit harder now, throwing a variable in here. But that's not going to shake us.
The X there.
Square root of x times square root of x is always
2
x. It's the same thing. When you multiply the same thing, you get that thing. First smiley face.
Positive 3 radical X.
Good. Second smiley face.
Negative 3 radical X.
And then -9. What happens to the middle terms?
Cancel.
So your final answer is?
Negative 9X.
Final answer is
Minus
x minus 9. Okay, now this square. All right, so how we're going to handle this is we're going to take this and white it out. And then I'm just going to put back square root of 3 plus 2. Okay, here we go, guys. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. 3. First smiley face.
Positive 2 radical 2.
Second smiley face. And last, plus 4.
7 plus 4 radical 3.
Wow, I'm good, aren't I? 7 plus 4 radical 3. Yeah, I keep saying that. Or I mean it. But believe it or not, most people find this, for whatever reason, very difficult. It's just following the rules. All right, so here we go again. I'm going to white it out. Practice writing it properly. Hold on a minute. All right, come on, guys. Good job.
And minus 5.
Y minus 5 radical y.
Minus 5 radical Y.
Wow. And then plus 25. Beautiful. Y, Y,
Plus 25.
Y. Thank you very much, Jensen. Yeah, if you want the right answer, it matters.
Oh,
The reason some of you are just used to these always canceling out. Is that the case? No, they do not. They do not always cancel. Thank you. That's correct. If it's a plus or minus, they do cancel. Ava, you doing all right? All right, here we go. 43. Someone,
What did you?
6 radical 5. This one's from last night. Here we go.
No, it's
Six radical two.
Stop. Think. Would you guys, please think for yourself.
6 radical 5 minus 3 radical 2.
Yes, I like that. But I would go ahead and write negative 3 radical 2 first, because my eyes look at that and say the only thing I can add to radical 2's are what? Radical 2's. Are there any other radical 2's? No, so I cannot add anything to it. Are we allowed to multiply things? Yes. Are we allowed to add things? No, they have to be the same. So then you look at these two, and that just makes what? 6 radical 5. Come on now. All right, I'm going to go to number 47. Try it. Don't repeat information, especially because people who are repeating information are usually wrong. Here we go.
minus 5
minus 5
radical 6.
What are you talking about, Rivers? Would you, what is it?
Minus 5 radical 6.
Minus 5 radical 6. Anybody have an issue with that? Anybody? All right, again, for those of you guys who are having a little bit of issues, remember, that is a 1. Okay, here we go. 49.
3 radical 6, 5 radical 5.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's easy. 3 radical 6
5 radical.
plus 5 radical 5. Good practice here. Okay, so 18, you're not even supposed to say the square root of 18. That's right. And what does that break down to?
3 radical 2.
Yes, but we're going to go ahead and review. I'm putting 9 times 2 there for those of you guys who are not as quick. So what is the square root of 9? 3. What number's out in front?
3.
So what do? Multiply them together. So I want 2 radical 2 minus 9 radical 2 minus radical 2. Now, again, I keep trying to tell you guys, please don't write that down. Do it. Right? You do the problem. Final answer. Because 2 minus 9 is negative 7 minus 1, negative 8. All right. Now, again, the first thing we're doing is looking at this 12 here. Everybody should be able to say today, that's just what?
4 times 3.
And then,
Plus 2 radical 3.
yes. All right, now I want to stop there for a second. Does anybody need me to review that from yesterday? Anybody need me to review that from yesterday? Okay, so now what 2 things can I combine?
So
Threes.
1
no, you
radical
cannot.
3. Or
Yes.
radical 3.
So can I do anything with the 6?
No.
No.
And then that would be
Radical 3.
plus radical 3. Is everybody okay with that?
Can you break?
Shh, no. What?
Where did radical
Negative 2 plus 3. is 1 radical 3.
Isn't there a common 3 in all of them? So can you break all of them?
If I was multiplying, you might have a point, but I'm not multiplying. I'm adding. You hear me? Adding and multiplying. Anybody else with a question? Ms. Cussel? That was your question. You understand what I said about it's not multiplying, right? So the only time you can add is if the radicals are the same. All right, so what am I doing with this radical 8? 4 and 2, square root of 4.
2 radical
So what goes here?
4.
4 radical 2. Anybody have any issues yet?
9 and 2.
Yes, now 18 is what?
9 and 2.
9 and 2.
Should it just be negative 9 radical 2?
Yeah,
So, negative 2 radical.
go. Good for you. What?
I don't,
What's the square root of 9? 3, right?
yeah.
And then
And then you
3,
have the same.
3 times 3 is 9. Now, because all of them have radical 2s, you can add them.
Oh, thank- negative 2 there.
The next
So I
one
got
is
negative 2 radical 2.
That's the same question.
Yeah, 57 is the same question.
Okay, there we go. All right, I just don't think that's that bad, guys. All right, it just requires practice. All right, so now your job is to knock out the what?
Evens.
Knock out the evens. Get busy. Go do it. All right, and then tonight the video of the evens will be up. Okay, the video of the evens will be up. All right, get to work, get to work, get to work.